This fight right here, you better be preparing. You better train your butt off as if your life depends on it, because your life depends on it. Don't go up missing.
I'm gonna smash your fucking face in, you prick. How about that for a fucking message?
What's going on, you guys? So, the big fight is this weekend between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. And, of course, the Bronze Bomber going into this fight is the underdog. And I think that if you're a betting man, if you're a man that's feeling lucky, or a lady feeling lucky, I think you might want to bet on the Bronze Bomber this weekend. Your boy Bushido took it upon himself to go check out what the odds is looking like on various different websites. And the one particular website I found, one you see on the screen here, has some pretty interesting things to play around with, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I mean, Deontay Wilder's the underdog in this fight, but if you was to just bet straight out right, Wilder winning the fight, yeah, you'll get a nice little decent return. But if you was to bet on some of the other things that you're going to see as you pay attention to the video, like for example, Wilder winning in round one, it's plus like 600, plus 5,000, right? Plus like 5,000. You bet, you see it on the screen here, right? You see it on the screen. It was pre-recorded, but I'm doing the audio over it. And you win a nice little return from betting on Wilder in round one. You bet on Wilder in round two. Yeah, and I was learning as I was going on this particular website, because I usually go somewhere else to do some of my, when I'm feeling lucky, you know. And I went here, and this one has it everything already. You know, the week ain't even over with yet. The other website I usually go to don't have things on here yet. You're going to see it coming up soon. They didn't really have much. But if you look, pay attention to what you can win if you bet on Wilder in various different categories. I mean, how could you not bet on Wilder in this fight? The payout is going to be insane. $10 to win you just crazy numbers. And there's so many different parlays you can do. A lot of different things, man. But Deontay Wilder, the payout for this fight, for that guy, is interesting. And also for Tyson Fury, if you want to pick with him winning specific rounds, you can do that as well. And you can also get a nice return from Tyson Fury that way. However, Deontay Wilder across the board is pretty much the underdog in this fight. You know, and you know, when you're dealing with a guy like Deontay Wilder, he's a guy that can end the fight at any time. So when you go, as you continue to watch the video, I'm not going to be speaking too much longer. I'm going to just let you guys sit back and watch it. But as you see, the odds for Wilder is worth the risk. It's very well so much the risk. They have even categories to where you can have it rounds 1 through 3. Wilder winning between these 3 rounds. I mean, these 4 rounds. You could bet on those categories. You could bet on the middle rounds, the end rounds. You know, and depending on the chances of that happening, the greater money you win. I mean, some of the payouts is absolutely crazy. And if you're one of those guys that's a high roller that likes to put the big money, the big bucks on a fight, you might want to bet on Wilder this fight. Even if you're going against Wilder, if you want to have a quick come up, I think this is one of those fights. And your boys ask Bushido, oh yeah, bet me this. They're like, no, bro, I don't bet people on the internet. Why? Because of shit like this. I like my chances better with this. I like my chances better with this. Look at these payouts. Right now I'm looking at Tyson Fury. Going through what the odds are. They're pretty low numbers if you just go straight out right. But if you want to go for Wilder going a distance, that's a lot. That's a nice little payout. But you could do multiples. And that's the other interesting thing about it. You could do multiples. You just don't have to do singles. You know, you just got to kind of play around with it. You see the website here, BetMGM. Man, this just made this fight that much more interesting, you guys. I think Wilder's the smart bet for this fight. Unless you're feeling lucky that Fury's going to get Wilder up out of there anywhere between the 1st and the 12th round. Other than that, betting on Fury, you're not going to really get too much of a good return. But if you bet on Wilder in various different categories, I mean, you can even parlay for other fights. For guys who don't know too much about this online betting stuff, you can go to other fights. You could, for example, you could have Okay, I picked Wilder to win the main event. I picked F.A. Ajagbe to beat Frank Sanchez, and I picked Helenius to beat Kwanaki. And if all three of those guys win, you could bet $10. And you pick all three of those guys win, then you get a crazy payout. But if one of those guys lose, let's say the first guy wins, the second guy lose, and the last guy win, you don't win nothing if that second guy lose. You got to win all three in the parlay. That's kind of how that goes. But yeah, man, Deontay Wilder, man, continue watching the video because you're going to see some crazy, crazy numbers from different categories. If Wilder wins in the second round, if he wins in the third round, the 12th round, the higher the risk, the greater your chances, the greater payout you're going to get, you know, and it's well worth it, man. Well worth the risk. You're going to see some big numbers here. For Deontay Wilder, and the thing that makes it so interesting for me in this particular fight is because Deontay Wilder is a fighter that can really win at any point in the fight. Even if you pick Wilder to win by decision, you still get a nice payout, right? So you could damn near pick that along with him knocking him out anywhere between the first and fourth rounds, or if you're feeling, 9 through 12, shit like that, right? It's a lot of different things you can do here. And I think now with this particular fight, and when we're dealing with a guy like Deontay Wilder, we see he's possessed. We see he's obsessed. We see he's really, really just, he seems like he's ready. He seems like he's ready for whatever Tyson Fury is going to bring. And I think that considering he's the underdog, I think people need to start, things like this may change as the week goes. So you may want to hop on this shit now, before the odds change and it's not looking so good. This is why I'm doing this video early, just to kind of get it out there early, because the odds tend to change as the week goes. And a lot of people are starting to say Wilder is going to win by KO. So these odds may change. So yeah, hop on this shit as soon as possible. Just continue watching the video because you're going to still see these numbers. And these numbers is just ridiculous. It's just worth the risk. And if you're a low player or a high roller, whatever you're gonna dish out is just worth the risk. You could bet $10 and come up. You could bet $50 and come up. You could bet $60. The odds in this fight to play around with here in regards to Deontay Wilder, knowing who he is and what he's capable of as a fighter, you can't go wrong with it. But yeah, continue watching the video, like, subscribe, holla at your boy, peace out.